Hello, this is Teresa Beem, and this is Reason Together. And this is not Adventist talk. This is just us getting together to reason together, and we're always very interested in what you have to say. Now, this morning, Arthur and I were talking, and he asked me to, he had to work, so he wanted me to record this particular episode because we just went and saw Cabrini, the movie Cabrini, yesterday, and he listened to some things I had to say about it, and he said, "You know what? You should use that for Reason Together." So I am doing this for him. Okay, so really fast, the Cabrini movie was Mother Cabrini. She was a late 19th century religious sister who had a compassionate vision of bringing Christian orphanages to China. Her health was so compromised, and they think it had to do with an almost drowning she had as a child, that medical professionals gave her 2 years to live. But this didn't deter her. She petitioned the Pope for funding to send her and her sisters to China. Concerned about her health, the Pope declined her request on several occasions. Her dogged persistence was finally met with a yes, but she and the other sisters would have to start in the West. And if God blessed, she can make her way with her orphanage and healthcare idea to the East after that. So she set off to New York and found, to her astonishment, a city crawling with filthy, hungry, and orphaned street urchins. Against all odds, with terrible prejudice against the Italians at that time, Mother Cabrini fought with all her heart to get the city to fund housing and health care for the underprivileged children. And if you know anything about the woman after her death, she ended up with an empire of hospitals and orphanages and schools that equaled and surpassed the empires of the Rockefellers and Carnegies, stretching from New York across the globe to China. The movie itself was stunning. Everything about it was top-notch. The cinematography, the script, the acting, the story itself, it was intense, but just very, very inspiring. So no matter what I say in my review, please understand, I think you should go to the movie. I can't imagine anyone not being inspired by the movie. But now I'm going to tell you my opinion about some overarching themes about the story. Okay, the story was about how a very small, she was around 5 foot tall, and very sickly woman that encountered catastrophic abuse against children that happened literally under the feet of the New Yorkers, because it happened in the sewers of that city. And yet no Christian leader would do anything about it. The movie, like all movies, set up a clear enemy for the heroine or the hero, these ambitious politicians who spewed out all this prejudice against Cabrini and all the other Italian immigrants, and then the spineless simps of the clergy who cowed to the politician. You see, in real life, it's not this clear. I hate that we always, as Christians especially, have to create a very clear enemy for a story. But that's story creating 101. You need an antagonist to go against the protagonist, which, can be true in real life. But Christ said it's not human principalities, but it's spiritual principalities against which you're supposed to fight. Now, and often, how do you present that on film? You can't. So Hollywood tries to create, because they don't want sympathy for the antagonist. They want it to be very, very clear so that we'll root for the hero and we don't mind when the antagonist gets a terrible death. So anyway, but in real life, it's not like that. In real life, the devil doesn't give us the satisfaction of having, a real realistic fighting for, with a battle of strength, the bad guy against the good guy. It's clear and we can hit him or we can take him out, or it's never, usually you can't, it's not Hollywoodish and it's drama and often there's not this exchange of clever conversation of wit which you can at least battle with the theology or wits or something. But the truth is, when you deal with these topics in real life, it is a battle of red tape. The devil never gives you the satisfaction of emerging feeling like you're the winner. That's what the devil really does to discourage us, from getting involved and to ever really fighting these battles. He puts a lifelong drudge in front of you, so you have to patiently wait. And there's often all these political or financial business meetings you have to go through, and there's stresses you didn't expect. It is dealing with the petty. It's dealing with the frustrating. It's a lifelong suffering that keeps going on. And mostly you never get to see the fruits of your hard labor. Often the hero or heroine becomes a posthumous winner. So if you really want a goal that you want to be taken care of, just be prepared to have your goal mean more than your personal success at the goal. You want the goal to be dealt with and not necessarily, you may not ever be connected to it. You better make sure your goal is worthy of your sacrifice, even if you personally never achieve it and others get the credit for the success. If your goals are of God, honorable goals, that it's about achieving some justice in the world or mercy, if it's a goal that's worth living and dying for, just do it, even if you know your name will never be attached to it. If Mother Cabrini were alive today and she saw the movie, she might feel a small twinge of flattery. That would be normal, and she probably should feel that way. But if you went down and asked her honestly, she would say that the Hollywood production really masks the reality of her life. There is nothing even remotely romantic about being the heroine. While you're actually living the story, there's no inspirational music in the background carrying you forward. You smell the smells of the dead city rats and human feces. You hurt your back and feel the pain for weeks from dragging a child's dead body up through the sewer system to get a proper burial. Most of the time, the motives of these people are not understood. And you have to keep yourself from exploding, from being constantly misjudged. Nothing in your reality gives you confidence to continue except for through prayer. And even that can make you humble, because God never sends a sign from heaven to show you that you're doing the right thing. But there is this little whisper inside your heart that keeps you acting, even when you are at times agonizingly unsure that what you're doing is right. Everybody advises you, but hardly anyone helps you. I think of all the scenes of righteous indignation where, the heroes battle the enemy And these are all from writer's imagination. The devil never gives you this secure footing against your obnoxious enemy. Rather, you tend to stay confused, because what happens is you meet with these people that are in charge that you need help from. And they're usually very composed, they're very calm, and they never give you this satisfying ability to give them a good godly verbal hit. Oh man, you just want to be able to tell them something that they have to at least acknowledge. They have to, they need a good response. Come on, fight back. But it's never like that, because you do those important jabs that should wake them up, and you hit jello, and they send you to do red tape. They send you off to fill out forms. Go through this. Here, stay on the line while we put you into the blah, 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 and it's just constant. See, the devil is going to be there waiting for you. If you put yourself out, you try for a worthy goal of helping others and doing what's right, the devil is going to be there waiting with a smile. He's not going to give you a fair fight, and he's just going to keep you confused. See, I don't think Mother Cabrini would have wanted anyone to walk away from the movie just wanting to join her fan club. Mother Cabrini would rather have had those men help her than be some famous Odysseus who ends up the hero in the Odyssey, that epic novel. This is a man's Hollywood perspective of a woman. This story is a man's dream, not a woman's. Because honestly, the movie made me a little bit upset, because this is from the romanticized perspective of a male writer, because it is the man that wants to go against all the obstacles and independently, make a name for themselves. They want this hard, well, and it's the epic, drama. They want that. Men giving a hero part to a woman may also excuse a man to step away from that role. So to me, it felt a little like propaganda to excuse some males' apathy against getting out there and working themselves. They want to throw the woman in the ring so they can give up the fight. And you know what? It's never in the mind of a hero to want to have a hard time. A real hero, not a make-believe fantasy hero. A real hero just wants the task completed. They don't want the spotlight. Mother Cabrini would have so much preferred to skip all the drama and had these city churchmen help her. How many more children would have been saved if she hadn't been this epic savior, and not had to jump through all these exhaustive hoops, but just have been helped? She didn't need her name on an empire. She wanted the children to be safe and loved. Our takeaway from the movie shouldn't be anything but shame for our apathy, and double shame for our pathetic leaders who make heroes of unhealthy women who do what they should have done, what they could have done so much easier than this little lady. If this film doesn't inspire men to action, the film is a waste of everyone's time. Mother Cabrini did not want us to be entertained by a beautiful, impeccably acted movie. she would rather have us get out and save the children. Because today our children are at risk. We have a world full of rats and filth and a culture of sewer. We are impoverished spiritually. We have apathetic Christian leaders who give the hero position to others because they want to be easy, they want to be popular, they want cushy lives. If I could change the story, I would have Mother Cabrini going to New York City, and the Christian leadership that she encounters would help her, defend her, and battle for her needs. They would have treated her respectfully, and they would have had some concern for her health. And instead of the children and the sisters and Mother Cabrini having to get out and dig a well and carry water to the orphanage, so that Mother Cabrini didn't have to go into the sewers and pull out children and rescue the ones that were alive. That's what she'd want instead of creating a romantic movie. The struggles against the male leadership is just ridiculous. Be like Mother Cabrini. Everybody needs to. Let's get out and save our children from this culture. And let's remember Luke 14:33. It says, in the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciples. So, go see the movie. It is so worth it. And be holy, my friend.
Seventh-day Adventists are one of a handful of Protestant denominations that believe Christians should rest on the seventh day like ancient Israel and the Jews do today. They base this belief on the Ten Commandments. In addition, they believe the seventh-day Sabbath is the only day God set aside as a special day of worship. Adventists teach that in AD 321, the Roman Emperor Constantine issued an edict declaring Sunday as the day of Christian worship, and that the Catholic Church caved to the emperor's edict by shifting the sacred day from the seventh to the first day of the week. But did the Catholic Church really change the Sabbath day to Sunday? Is there really more to the story? We begin a new series that will be exploring the answers to those questions. We will start at the beginning from Genesis to Mount Sinai, to the life of Christ, to the Reformation, through the 17th century Sabbath wars, all the way to the end of the world. We will be telling the epic tale of this holy day. This is the story of the Sabbath.